Yeah.
like just doing this it took a lot of preparation, and it's like, okay, get my brain,
Yeah.
back into
Yeah.
this. So yeah,
Absolutely.
it has been, it's funny, we don't have time and confirm that, there's a full buy-in, and the buy-in is aligned to the club strategy and goals. So every year, our Berry group has a strategy session, and we align as much as we can to the AdvanceMe program. So we're looking at the same activities, and we're utilizing our club membership to achieve a lot of the strategy goals. So the first step is to go through the program with the club executive. And then the next step, of course, is to create an ad hoc committee. So our committee was created with, I believe we had 6 individuals, 5 individuals that started meeting in October. And actually, sorry, I'm not telling you the truth. It was May. Yes, it was May. And the ad hoc committee created a plan with all sorts of actions, and we gave ourselves timelines because we wanted to launch in September. So there are notes, actually it says see notes below. There are notes within the notes section of this slide to kind of give you the basic activities that the ad hoc committee went through. It was quite a bit there, so I didn't want to busy the slide with all of the activities we did, but we put together a full project plan and came up with ideas around how we were going to launch. So we basically had 2 launches. So the first launch was in a general meeting and in September, and we had a workshop introducing all of the members to what AdvanceMe was all about. So we had several tables of so I think we had 5 tables and probably 6 members at each table, and we had a committee member at the table prepared with the guideline, and everybody was given an assessment sheet. And the assessment sheet breaks down, and I think I have a sample of it here, where it breaks down the program into the 3 levels and has high level overview of what each step is. So all of the 12 activities for bronze, let's say, is highlighted, and to get more information, if the high level information it needs more finessing, you can check the actual guidelines. So we had every member complete the assessment sheet and handed them in at the end of the meeting, identifying all the levels that they've achieved, and looking or keeping in mind that we needed to identify mentors and leadership potential. So we also asked members if they would like to get involved in mentoring. So then what we did was the committee and executive verified all of the self-assessments. They looked at the levels of accreditation, and we created certificates for distribution at the next meeting. So that was one key thing we wanted to do, was celebrate and recognize our people regularly and align a lot of the recognition to the AdvanceMe program. So really embedded in our activities. So the next step was sharing. At the next general meeting, we asked all members to share their accomplishments and identify where they wish to focus. And that was a very successful meeting. We had people sharing a lot of where they came from and where they're going, which was a really good activity, and it brought through a lot of information and things about certain members I didn't even know. So we did a lot of skill sharing, a lot of leadership sharing, and you really understood a lot more of where people were coming from. And the next launch 2, was the formal mentorship program. So one of our members, Ginny, she had a 2-page mentorship program with concepts and guidelines. And after that meeting, after that launch, we asked members to self-identify to see if they wanted to be a mentee or a mentor, task coach. And we're right at the point right now where, because of COVID, a lot of these activities around mentorship have been somewhat put on hold until we figure out what is going on with our meeting program and understand a little more about where things are going to maybe open up. We've heard a lot today about stage 3 of the COVID changes, so I'm sure there's still going to be a lot of dialogue around where we're going for the next steps. And then what we're planning to do is review and identify. So we're going to look at all of our coaching requirements. So the idea is to get mentors, to get coaches, to ask members what levels they would like to focus on next, and identify where we may have activities that are like activities. So let's say for example, we have 5 new members in the Berry group who will be working on their bronze right now. And what we want to know is, are there like activities that we can do some team learning around, or to have a coach, maybe coach 3 individuals around a certain activity that they would like to complete. And it's also the same for silver and also the same for gold. So we are looking for that feedback right now. And we also know that there are key workshops that are available on the Ontario and Canada websites that we may leverage around the programs or the activities that our members would like to undertake. And then we will celebrate again and recognize our members and look into periodically where they are in their modules. So there is a whole tracking piece around this that we want to know where people are, but we really want to encourage them to keep going and to develop as many of the skills as their goals allow. So that's kind of our high level action plan that we have implemented. Okay, next slide. Do we have any questions to this point? Okay, I'll take that as no.
Question box.
No, there is a question box. So if anyone has it, just interrupt me or just ask
I'm
me.
monitoring. Yeah.
Okay. So what I did for the next 3 slides, show you the bronze, silver, and gold. And each division has 12 activities that you would pick 3. It says choose 3. And you would pick 3 activities that you would want to accomplish for the next 6 months, the next year, whatever you wish to assign yourself. So it's totally based on where you want to go. And what I did was, once COVID hit in April, we had an April meeting that was online, and we launched our mentorship program at that meeting, which was a very interesting activity because it was brand new. Nobody had ever done this before. And a lot of individuals really were looking at this. I know I was, and I'm thinking, where can I do these activities virtually? Because we don't have any idea how long we are going to be working from home, be isolated, C, there's all the activities or the restrictions around COVID that are just changing. Like today it changed, 2 weeks ago it changed. So there's a lot of things that could be done virtually. So what I did was I went through the activities and highlighted in yellow some of the activities or accomplishments you can do really basically working on your computer or working from home or phoning. So these are just basically the 12 activities you could do. And I don't know why being a meeting ambassador for a day has no number. I could not get that to come through properly. But we, you know, there's at least 4 activities that you'd have to be doing in person. But if we look at a lot of them, doing a personal development audit, number 9, there are online tools. There's an Ontario program that we actually did I believe after we launched in the September meeting, after we launched the program for AdvanceMe, we did a personal development audit, which was a really good exercise to bring into the program. And there are a lot of online tools that you can use. I went to the Georgian College website, and there's a personal development audit on there that you can use. And it's just basically understanding what skills and you're bringing and where you need to develop some of them. So there's a lot of activities here that you can do virtually. So it's just, you know, another kind of stepping point that I wanted to highlight for this presentation, that it doesn't mean that we have to stop. And it's the same thing with silver. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 activities you can do virtually. Club lead, you know, having an executive position now, and I know a lot of the clubs already had their AGMs and voted in their executives. But those are activities, being secretary for the day. So, you know, for our next meeting, when Barry meets in July, if an individual wanted to do the minutes, they would let the president know, and we would arrange for them to do the minutes online through Zoom or this program, whatever program we're using, and then be coached around the minutes and looking at the results, and maybe get a bit of pre-coaching before the actual meeting happens. So there's a lot of things we can do virtually. Karen, if you go to gold, just go to the next slide. The same thing with gold. So there's a lot of activities. There's 12 right there, and we can do almost half of them on a virtual basis. Now, a lot of the activities in gold focus on national or Ontario activities, hosting a provincial conference. The gold is a lot more far-reaching. Though silver and bronze are very local focused, where gold reaches out to Ontario and much further than the local environment. And it does ask members to become a little more, you know, focused on way bigger activities. So, for example, money and fundraising, assisting in getting sponsorship for BPW events, number 5. Looking at the constitutions, looking at advocacy. So there's a lot more meaty stuff in the gold program. But that's basically, we're looking at bronze, silver, and gold. And you pick 3 out of each one that you would like to accomplish, and basically hook up with a mentor and or activity or task coach, and work on the program at your own speed. So if we go to the next slide, it's basically saying, what's in it for me? So if you look at, there's 11 activities that we highlighted that is all about what you will gain from the program. And my favorite one is number 11, which is basically being together, being focused on encouraging each other, having fun, and doing a lot of laughing, which I think is really important, especially in this environment. We're looking at, skill advancement, time commitments are driven by your personal needs. As we mentioned, mentorship and leadership dynamics are really, really important. Looking at teamwork, we want to focus on continuous learning, leadership opportunities, especially 7 for a lot of our entrepreneurs and small business individuals. Expanding your contacts community and meeting new people is very important. It's also important for every member, really, not just entrepreneurs, but it does help in getting your community established and grown. It also really focuses on committee work. So again, another teamwork activity, another ability or capability of being a chairperson of a committee. Making a difference through BPW. One key thing too is fine-tuning your resume. After you achieve a certain level, it's suggested that on your resume where you mention being a member of the BPW chapter, that, for example, you can mention that you have bronze accreditation in the AdvanceMe program and provide a date that you achieved it. So it's actually a really interesting reflection to show on your resume. And as I mentioned, number 11, camaraderie, fun, and laughter. So that's kind of what's in it for you. And we'll go to the next slide. So just a little bit of stats and tracking. So this is as at May 2020. And Sharon, I believe you're on the call. You're our membership guru for Barrie.
Yes, I am.
And just shows how things change very quickly. We have 25 members now. And we have 18 out of the 25 that are accredited, that have an accreditation, which is a 72% participation rate. So I've got the numbers right, Sharon? We have 25 members at the current time?
Well, we had 25 at the end of May, and we have 20 that are confirmed. We have a few that have not yet confirmed for this year, but
Okay.
20 and 25, yes, that's correct.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. What we have noted is that 18 of the 25 have their bronze, 11 have their silver, and 7 have their gold. So if you look at the 6 members where we say have their gold, there's actually 7, and those gold members have their bronze and their silver. So it looks like the numbers don't really jive, but they do. So we have a total of 18 bronze, 11 silver, and 7 gold. And 8 members so far have offered to be mentors. And we're still awaiting feedback for the mentors and mentees. We have several members that have asked to be task coaches. I am one of them because I'm more than happy to coach somebody on how to do minutes and understand the meeting guidelines. And we do have the treasurer position. One of the activities I believe for silver is being treasurer for the day. So we do have people that in Barrie that can do some coaching there. And all new members will be introduced to bronze. So we have 5 new members. Is that correct, Sharon? We have 5 so far?
I guess that sounds correct. And we have one member who's about to transfer from Calgary to us. So that's exciting.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Okay. So we're going to basically introduce our new members to bronze. So we may do some team learning. We may do some activities that involve, you know, our mentors coaching the bronze levels. So this is a real exciting time where we can focus on learning from how we teach people, but also utilizing the skills within the program, within Barry, to, you know, to bring the program forward. So that's kind of where we are for, I guess not May anymore, it's July. My goodness. So included in the presentation is an appendix. So we'll just quickly flip through that just so you get an idea. So the next slide should show you the certificate that we gave out all the different levels at our October meeting, just to show our teams where they are and to celebrate and give people accreditation for where they are in their activities with BPW. So next slide is just a sample of our mentor guide. So it's a 2-page guide, and it talks about basically what a mentor does, what it doesn't do. And I included the mentor presentation deck. So if we go to the next slide, I believe, yeah, there's a presentation deck that if somebody wanted to roll this out in their team or their group, they could utilize this guideline. So it's a few pages long, but it talks about all of the action plans, all of the tools, all of the activities around being a mentor and being a mentee, what it is, what it isn't. So if you want to go to the next slide, yeah, so this is kind of an update of what you're doing as a mentor. Then the next slide talks about a task coach. Example, secretary for a day, going over a lot of the activities around certain functional activities that a secretary or treasurer or somebody involved in resolution writing, or there's so many activities that we can identify task coaches for. Next slide. These are examples, short time scenarios, longer time scenarios. Next slide. Personal and club growth, even in uncertain times. This is where Ginny focused on. We can still work on AdvanceMe accreditations, and we had several events that were coming up. So she presented this in April, which was, like I mentioned, our first online meeting. So there were executive positions, there were committee chairs that will be needed, new committees may be possible. We are actually going to do the provincial conference in Barrie for 2021. Hopefully that will still go ahead. And Barrie is celebrating 75 years of BPW activity in Barrie. So, you know, there's a lot of activities that are happening in Barrie. So we just wanted to highlight those. Next slide. This is about physically distanced communication, virtual meetings, collaborative workspaces. So we've got a bit of information about that. Next slide, please. Oh, and this last slide is just a sample of our committee meeting minutes. And it just gives a layout of what we talked, what some of the topics are that we have gotten into. So this is October 28th, which is our last meeting that we had as a committee. And there are a few activities that we discussed that we wanted to keep track of. So I do minutes every meeting. We do actions and we assign activities to certain individuals with potential guide timelines. So I think that's it. Next slide. I don't think there's any more. Yeah. So that's it. That's our final screen. And I would like to know if there's any questions out there.
Yeah, we don't have any questions in the question box, so if you could just unmute yourself and ask your question, that would be great.
It's
Anybody
Norma.
with any questions?
Norma here. I did
Hi,
write a
Norma.
question.
Yeah, Norma.
I did write a question in the box, but maybe it didn't show up. That seems to be my computer
Oh, now
today.
I got it now.
Oh, do you schedule a time each month for the club to meet and discuss this as part of a dinner virtual meeting, or do people work on it separately and schedule themselves? So right now, do we discuss? We always try to celebrate. So at every meeting, if we have people that have accomplished certain levels, we will give out certificates. But so far, we do talk about it. Sometimes I get up at our dinner meetings and give updates of where we are and what we're doing. But basically the program is set up so each individual work on their activities separately. And as I mentioned, we kind of got to a point in April where we did the mentorship launch, and things have, because of COVID, have basically been put on hold for the time being, unless individuals want to go through and work on certain things virtually. But it's totally up to the individual. We're as a committee probably going to meet in the next month to look at and focus on what we can do from home, what we can do as a team, and or different activities that we can leverage online that I mentioned, that Ontario and Canada have developed and have learning venues already established, so we could work on that together. So we're still kind of in the, we've launched, but we're still kind of in the learning stage to understand where people, what levels people are really wanting to focus on right now. And right, let's face it, there's a lot of individuals that are looking at job losses. They're looking at they're business owners that are having difficult times. So there's a lot of uncertainty right now. I don't know, Sharon, did you want to add
Sharon has her
anything?
hand up. Do you have a question, Sharon?
Hi, it's Sharon. No, not really a question. I just wanted to comment and commend Jo for what a great job she's done with AdvanceMe. It's a great program, and we've really not utilized it very well in the past. And this is the first year we really have, put out there to members and encouraged members, and especially with our younger members. We have several new young BPW members at Barrie, and they're really embracing this and seeing it as something that they can put on their resumes and, and make something of their careers. And it's just such a great leadership opportunity that is applicable to real life as well. So thank you, Jo, for taking the bull by the horns and leading this. And thank you for the workshop. And I hope others are getting as much out of it as we do in Barrie. It's really, it already exists. It's nothing new. We just need to have someone like a Jo in each club that is willing to take it on and really be the champion. So good luck to all of you other clubs. You need someone like Jo.
Absolutely.
Well, I could clone myself.
Not sure.
Joanne, it's
Split
my to
herself,
hear.
but
I'd love to clone myself. But I am here for reference. I'm here for guidance. If anybody out there would like a little more coaching one-on-one, I am more than happy to do that. I did have, like I mentioned, I did have a part-time job looking after my grandson, but right now it's not happening because my daughter's not working. So we're I'm available if you need help.
Hi,
I think
Joanne,
the
it's
thing-
Maida.
Oh, hi,
Hi.
Maida.
Hi.
Hi.
Joanne, I wanted to thank you for doing this presentation, and I wanted to echo Sharon's sentiments. I think, as I'm sure some of our members are going to have to do a bit of a career reboot, or look for an opportunity to gain back confidence in their work. And I think this program could help with that in terms of refreshing skills and adding more skills in terms of leadership. So I think it's an opportunity for us to work with this program. So thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Very
Yeah.
welcome. But you're right. Refreshing and adding more skills is a continuous thing. But right now, yes, the confidence that having just having those accomplishments laid out for you and defining your goals is going to be a really important component. Very true.
In addition, clubs have struggled with membership because, longtime members, they get tired and so on. But getting new members and getting them engaged and interested in what's there with all of what BPW has to offer, so is a great thing to keep your club growing and fresh and going forward. So this AdvanceMe program is a great way to do that. It engages everybody instead of just showing up. They're really there and wanting to participate. And
Right.
source of pride to get the certificate and say, oh, I'm moving up to silver or what have you. So how have your new members embraced it when you've brought it to them that this is part of, now you're a member and bringing it to them right away?
Well, a lot of our new members have come to the club in the last few months. So as far as the bronze program, it's right now everything's up in the air.
Yeah.
But our focus is, to identify mentors and match them up with, different activities, different tasks that they have personally identified and group them together. So if they, 3 of the 5 new members or 6 new members want to work on something, they can, work on it together. And that's our hope, that we can, like Sharon said, with a lot of our newbies being young BPW members, they're very attracted by the program to develop their skills and to be coached by existing members that bring a lot of knowledge and a lot of learning opportunities. So we're kind of just formulating this.
Sure, that's great. Well, it's in progress too, right? So, I'm sure you've learned a lot since you first started the club, and it continues to evolve. So that's great for sure. So
yeah, it's growing. It's becoming more defined. Our committee could not predict this all happening with the virus and all of the activities that just stopped. Just things just aren't happening anymore, or things are put on hold, or there's everybody has a different situation. Everybody's personal situation is quite a bit different than my situation and Sharon's situation. Like everybody has a different story, and I think this is a really good lesson for us as a committee to kind of more or less identify what we can do, but also look at and expect some of the unexpected things,
Mhm.
you know, where we're
Yeah.
going. Mhm.
Our question has been, is it possible to share? So will this be sent to Laura to post on the BPW Ontario website?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Great.
Absolutely. We can load this up, and you know, this is owned by BPW, so it's not just Barry's program. It's a BPW Ontario program, and it can go national if we want to do that. That is no problem. And like I said, myself and my committee members would be more than happy to get involved in you know, bringing it to the next level for BPW. Yeah, and be task coaches, be mentors. So it's kind of a self-perpetuating program.
Yeah, absolutely. So Heather, I'll let Heather's on the call, so I don't know if she's got anything that she wants to share, but I'm sure she can send it to Laura and have it posted there. So Heather.
For sure.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Joanne. Sorry I was late, folks, but you know, life happens. And this is what BPW is all about. So because I can get into the GoToWebinar, my stress level went down because I know Karen's really good with GoToWebinar, and it was like, plus we're friends, so it's a bonus. It's like, can you help me?
Help me.
Well, thank you, Karen, for doing that as well. But this is just, thank you, Joanne, for doing the presentation. And thank you, Marty, for making this suggestion way back when we first started talking about, because I think at this time it's a critical time so people actually see that they're getting value from their membership. It's not just go to a meeting once a month and go to a conference or an AGM or whatever. So this is very exciting. And I know that Laura will ask this question, Joanne, so I'm going to ask it now.
Yeah.
Do we have permission to put it on the BPW Ontario YouTube page, this presentation?
YouTube page.
If you're comfortable with that? Yeah,
there's
a new YouTube channel. Yeah, this is the new thing, you know, part of with the younger people. I figured that, but I know that she asked for the last month, so I just got the recording to her. And anyhow, but thank you so much. I'm so excited to see we've got BPW Ottawa, Oshawa, Brampton. I was trying to do North Toronto, Trenton District, Brighton. We've got Sault Ste. Marie. And oh my goodness, this is really exciting. So I want to say this to me is a good sign, you know, as a president-elect, this may be a really good tool for us. And I know I've talked last month about the BPW International Workshop, same sort of idea, not as, there were some where we were on Zoom and going into breakout rooms and that, but this is an awesome tool. And I'm so thankful that you did this and you people have taken time from your busy schedules to join us. And I'm really hoping that we're going to make it. I already asked somebody about doing some networking, teaching us how to do networking sort of in the lobbying world and that sort of stuff. So I'm hoping they're going to say yes, because that's definitely something I know I want to learn more about, and I think a lot of us do. So anyhow, so these are exciting times. I know we have September booked. Mary Wilton will be speaking. I think it's homelessness and housing or something. I've got to double check with her.
She's from our Barry group. Yeah.
I know. So you guys see, this is what happens. You do the AdvanceMe and the rest is history. I'm just teasing. Anyhow, ladies, thank you so much for coming again. And we're going to be done earlier than expected, but unless anyone wants to bring something else and we'd edit it. But anyhow, I'm going to stop the recording at this point. And thank you.